I'm Drew.
I'm Darb.
We're the owners of TREKWERX.
TREKWERX is a company that focuses on events like Crawl America and Trail America. So the TREKWERX brand's been around for a little while. It was an idea for some products that I had dating back to 2010, 2011. After 1 year of wheeling and experiencing the building of the friendship with Drew, it only made sense to realize that our goals were aligned. We partnered up 2017, and we improve Crawl America every year. And then this year was the first year for Trail America. So
Trail America was something we wanted to do to not only bring together more people in the off-road industry and in the hobby, so to speak, but just to expand out on all that side of the off-roading.
To offer something that really is focused on the trail experience, a little bit more controlled atmosphere, and then just allowing people, even in the Overland world, right? Like Overland's about disconnecting and getting out and getting away from the world, but sometimes that's new for people too, and having like a comfort zone of like, let's do this with a group of people, and now you're out getting away, but you've got backup plans, you've got guides, you've got everything that you need just in case things do go off plan. Trail America is really supported by all of the sponsors that helped us along the way and have continued to help Crawl America grow. However, when we kind of narrowed it down to kind of attending sponsors and some more Overland and trail type sponsors, we reached out to a couple of new sponsors, and then we also brought over some of the existing sponsors into this world. So you have Outlaw Offroad, you have Radflow. Glenn and his company came on board for both Crawl America and Trail America. You have Go Mammoth, they're a rooftop tent company. You also have Snowmaster. So they make amazing fridge freezers, from small all the way to the largest you can imagine to carry with you out on these events. We're supported by Bison Coolers. They do a backpack for us for the events, and we carry that over to Trail America. And then obviously BF Goodrich, right? We couldn't do what we're doing without a big brand like BF Goodrich supporting us and backing us and allowing us to do it.
And this trip is really, it's all about Hero Offroad. It's benefiting them. They're an awesome company that works directly with our veterans, and we've supported them for 5-6 years now. And it's just phenomenal company. That's what it's all about, is doing what we can to give back to them.
If it isn't obvious, we are from the East Coast. So much like many of the East Coasters, we don't get a chance to really go out and see the beauty of the Midwest. Every time that I do have that opportunity, I'm left speechless every time.
I've been out there probably 5 or 6 times now, and each time is still like the first time I go. It's amazing, absolutely amazing.
So we've got permission now from the hotel, check out at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Yes.
So that'll allow everyone to make last minute runs tomorrow, because not everybody's gonna get here by 3 o'clock check-in today. So that'll allow everyone to run out, get anything they need, be ready and checked out by 1. We'll have a staging location down the road for everyone to line up by 1:30. We'll have introduction to you guys, so everyone will know film crew's here. Anything you guys want to say, so first impressions for everyone. So we plan to be on the road by 2. I think our first stop, we're actually going to go down to, what is this thing actually called? The Dragon's Tail? What is it called? The Dragon?
This one, I think there's 2, to be honest with you.
That's the other place. Let's go Belly of the Dragon. So Belly of the Dragon is where we'll go, or everybody will get out. So it's
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So we'll drive down to the parking area there and then be able to walk in there.
And we're not going to rush any of it, right? No. We have a much smaller group than what we intended. So If we rush, we're gonna get to these camp locations the first day and find stuff to do. And I don't want to find stuff to do. I want stuff to happen. I want it to be as relaxed as possible, and I want it to be natural. So you guys are filming just natural interactions, natural conversations with everybody. Obviously, B-roll and imagery and all that mess. So then that puts us to day 2, leaving the designated camping area and going out of Zion. It will end up at the Tropic Reservoir, which is right at Bryce Canyon. So that'll be 1 and 2 as far as the 2 first.
We will have a fuel stop in the middle of that day as well.
So we'll have a stop,
In
water,
the city
fuel,
of Hatch, or
whatever.
town of Hatch.
We don't have a plan for an additional day if we eat a day out of it, right? So if we go and do everything that was a possibility for 2 days in one area and everything that was a possibility for 2 days in the other area, we don't have anything else planned to make up the day on the end. You know, most people don't get an opportunity to see the planning that goes into these events, right? Like the months of prep ahead of time, the conversations, the phone calls, to the point where then we sit down now with the film crew and go over the plan, right? And just like all great plans, they're absolutely made to be broken. The plan did not go to plan. Okay, all right.
This is just going to be an epic trip. There's first group of people to do an event like this, and little did we know at the time just how much of an impact this probably was going to have on everybody.
Well, welcome to Trail America 2021. We are really excited to be out of 2020. I think all of us are. This was all supposed to happen last year. It did not happen last year, so we pushed it this year. Last year kind of affected this year a little bit. The positive of that is we have a smaller group. We're gonna have a lot more fun. We'll be tighter. We'll be able to kind of do some extra things and maybe go off a couple of routes. And kind of have like a vote system, like, hey guys, you want to go do this, and we'll go do it and explore a little bit. So that's pretty cool. When we're on highway, on pavement, try to stay about 5 car lengths from each other. We don't want to be up each other's butt, but we also want to stay together in case we're having to do any of that. We'll be up front. We've got the route pretty well figured out. Doug's going to help us a little bit with making sure we get that fine-tuned a little bit, probably tonight when we get to camp. We're going to be stopping. We're going to get to our camps probably a little bit sooner than we would if this was the full group that we planned on taking. So that'll allow us to do a few things. We'll be able to explore some, whether it be on foot or on vehicle. So there's going to be some places that you can obviously hike to and go check out and see, you know, on foot. That'll also allow us to get to camp early, especially this first night. That's why this first day is kind of done the way it is for us to kind of be a little bit more relaxed. We get to camp, can set up. Some of us have a little bit more to set up than others. Everybody can do their dinner or whatnot. We're taking care of you for breakfast in the mornings, and we have some extra supplies in case some people have run into issues. We will have at least 2 opportunities for gas and some, you know, kind of snack opportunities, fill up on some things like that. We wanted to make sure everybody had the grocery side of it kind of taken care of. We have 3 of our sponsors with us. We have Johan with Go Mammoth, we have Glenn with Radflow, and we have Doug with Outlaw. So we're glad to have you guys with us. If there's any questions, you guys feel free to ask at any time. What we're about to do now is I'm going to take the Ram sitting right here, and we're going to pull it down out of this exit entrance, down the side of this road right here and park. And you guys can line up however you want behind us. Once we're lined up, we'll make sure film's ready. They will get us leaving and everything that we're doing, and we'll head on into Zion. We'll go into Zion's gate, and that is probably the only gate that we're absolutely positively going to go in. Everything else should be traversed outside of the realm of normalcy. So
only thing I want to add is again, this is year 1. Have fun, guys. Yeah, we want to hear every bit of feedback, good and bad, okay? The feedback is where we improve, period. It's the only way we can improve. So I personally want to know the good, bad, and the ugly. If something's not going the way you want it to go, please feel free to tell me, Darb, whatever. But most importantly is, this is our vacation too. Let's have fun, enjoy it, you know what I mean? We're about to do something I don't know anybody else has done yet. So enjoy it. You're the first probably ever. And again, just smiles and good times. If there's issues, we're here to help. You're part of a family now, and you will be for the rest of your lives. So we thank you for that, big time.
Cool. Good. Awesome. Let's do it. You know, as we were getting ready to embark, you know, and lead this group of sponsors and participants, you know, all I could think about, what we're about to do, what we're about to experience is worth it, right? Like that's the big thing, is that no matter what, at the end, put on a great event, that the sponsors have enjoyed themselves, and that, you know, we just create more awareness for Hero Offroad. Good? Drew?
Yeah.
Am I good to unhook it?
Yeah, good.
F90.
When you're ready, pull down. We'll get that going. All right. I think it's our only option. We've got issue number one. It's not a big issue, but it is an issue. So, unfortunately, the gauge of the wire that we had ran for the powering of the refrigerator in the back of our truck is not thick enough, and it is not doing its job. It's not the right gauge. So, we've got to do some finagling and move some stuff around. No big deal. Just like anything else, we will overcome. We will get it figured out. So what we're going to end up doing is, Josh has his turtleback camper trailer, and we're going to pull that down here, and we're going to figure out a way to put that fridge on that trailer and keep it cool until we can figure out how to put a bigger wire on here. So we're going to tote his clothing, and he's going to tote our food. I think it's a good trade-off, you know, we'll see. So other than that, everything is going great. Negative, Ghost Rider. We had a plan. Okay.
As long as it can handle the length.
And you said it's what, 30?
It's like 33, 33 and a half. Mine's 31 and a half. Yours is another couple inches.
We'll be fine.
Let's double check.
You want to double check it? All right.
I think that thing's heavy.
I thought it was like 42 inches or something. Yeah.
I'm not gonna go like 34.2, like
39.
39.
39 inches.
All right, so hold this straight. Hold that right there for me.
Mm-hmm.
We can do it.
Yeah? I love you.
We'll make it.
I love you. Now that we've got the fridge freezer situation temporarily resolved, we can actually go and check out the belly of the Dragon. So the belly of the Dragon was originally created as a water drainage under Highway 89. Over time, the natural erosion of that water running through there has carved away at the sandstone walls and created a more natural cave-like scenery.
Yes, we pulled in off the highway, pulled up satellite imagery on Gaia and saw this really open area a couple miles in, and just came and scouted ahead. And it just opened up. We were in trees for about 1.5 miles off the road, and then all of a sudden we had this huge opening. It's called the Yunta Flat. Just a really nice open camping area. We got good view over a ridge and sunrise in the morning. It's gonna be a really good spot and a really good morning.
Well, the dogs have put up with a lot today. They lost a little bit of space in the back of the Jeep, so I promised them a little bacon on their food, so I'm cooking up some bacon grease to put on their kibble and give them a little reward for doing a little outstanding job and taking one for the team.
Contact, interactions, you know.
So how long you been doing this?
Just having fun in the woods with my truck.
Yeah.
Let's see. Probably about 7 or 8 years now.
7 or 8 years.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
What got you started doing it?
I own a shop in New York City.
Okay.
So we got a foothold for like doing a lot of 4x4 work in New York City. As popular as that may be, right? But actually during the pandemic and you know, this whole quarantine thing and people kind of getting out and exploring, it really kind of boosted what I do. So we kind of became like the leading overland place in New York City for building trucks. So it kind of all just came with like this whole wave of like me being part of the lifestyle and then implementing it into the business, and you know, here we are. So
Stakes here. We've already put all the stakes around. All right, so here we are getting ready to kick off day 2 of this year's Trail America. Beautiful spot. Thanks to Doug for coming out and finding this spot in the area that we're designated. So a little chilly last night, colder than I expected actually. So temperature swings pretty big. Everybody's just getting kind of woken up, getting their coffee. We'll get some breakfast going here shortly, and then everybody can pack up for day 2.
how did I sleep last night? Pretty well. It was a little chilly, but I got a good sleeping bag. I put an X-Ped, so like a self-inflating mattress, inside of the Go Mammoth, which also has a memory foam mattress, so I slept pretty cushy. I mean, given that I'm sleeping outside, it was pretty good, so nice. I'm excited for day 2.
You guys are troopers so far. Day 1's done, in the books. We're getting ready to hit day 2, obviously. We're gonna be mainly back roads. Goal is to hit Mammoth Cave. It's a pretty neat little spot. Another quick little stop, a little cooler than Belly of the Dragon yesterday. Hopefully we don't have any issues like we did. And if we do, we'll tackle them as a team like we did yesterday. So, cool. Then we're going to a city called, or town, whatever you want to call it, Hatch. That will be our first fuel and supply stop. But the goal today is to get to the campsite at the Tropic Reservoir. It's probably going to be pretty dusty, So let's put headlights on so that the guys behind you can still keep an eye on you. If there's any issues whatsoever, communicate. Just jump on the radio. Hey, we need to stop. Hey, we need to whatever. Got an issue. We'll tackle it as a team and get it done. So let's mount up, get in formation, whatever formation you want to do. Just whoever's at the caboose, let me know who you are so I know who I'm communicating with throughout the day. And let's go have some more fun.
Oh, there we are.
So you're not grabbing 48 to go that road all the way to Hatch?
I don't think so. We are coming back up.
That's got to be it, right?
Right.
You wouldn't go all the way up to the lake and then
Unless
come back
we were being
down.
adventurous.
Super adventurous, but that's a lot of pavement.
So we're going back there. Yeah, we're going out of the way.
Really?
Leading up to this moment, we had seen just a few hiccups along the way, and we thought that, you know, that's all we would see is some hiccups. But as we started looking at this map, Doug and I, we realized that this is probably the beginning of more than a hiccup. Things were starting to go a little off, and our routing was having to be readjusted and looked at a little differently. So Doug was a big help working on figuring out where we'd go from here.
So before we got too off track, we stopped to check out Mammoth Cave.
Hello.
Hey, yeah, don't go down that way.
Oh, wow. The last guy got stuck. There's his ropes.
Who's going with me? I'm more scared of like the little slithery things that might be in here.
Yeah.
Yep. Are you coming?
So Mammoth Cave is actually a lava tube that was formed over 2,000 years ago. It's over a quarter of a mile long and sits at about 8,000 feet. So it stays cool inside year round.
Darb didn't want to go actually into the cave because he was thinking or hearing that there was bats down in there.
Feels like it's pretty cold in there.
We're gonna stop pretty quick then. All right, I'm heading out. All right, see you later.
He said, see you later.
Hey.
Thing was, we were looking the wrong way the whole time. The rest of the group had found a giant opening in the complete opposite direction.
No. I just scrambling, sneaking around, saying all around.
What are you doing down here?
This goes for so sick.
Well, if anybody can make it, the guy in the blue shirt can make it. Oh no, green shirt. I'm sorry, green shirt, blue jacket. He's tall enough. He can make it. All right, see you later. Oh man, look at that. Pass.
Oh, look at them. You see them all?
Oh my God, it's like a nest.
I knew they were up in there somewhere.
See, I told you there were bats in there.
Yeah.
Normally from October to April, the cave system is closed, so they don't want anyone going in there due to the bat population. We're in May, so we're fine. We went in, and once they realized there were bats confirmed, realized that we probably should just head on out. So everyone exited and got to hear all the stories about what they saw inside.
Ramblers ready? Go. Let's mount up. If we can, because it's going to be kind of tricky to get all of us out of here, you know, maybe just kind of line up out of it. Yeah, just try to line up and let us get back in front and whatever, and we'll do our thing. We have a planned route already that is not set in stone to get to Tropic Reservoir from here. This is the city of Hatch, and we were just talking to the local gas station attendant. It's really cool. He might be the owner, I think he is. And he asked us how we were getting to Tropic, and we told him, and he says, "Nah, man, y'all are in Jeeps and off-road vehicles, right?" And we're like, "Not overly built, but yes." And he goes, "There's a trail system through these mountains over here, and if you want to pan this way, I can show you. But through these mountains over here to get to the Tropic Reservoir, and there's about 6 different routes to do that. So we're gonna go hit this local dive restaurant right quick and plan that out and make sure it's doable and see, and everybody's good with that." So
what's the verdict, Captain?
Yeah, that's definitely more of a bar than anything, and it is definitely not even open until 5 p.m. So yeah, that's change of plans.
So on the pavement, we'll go up about 7-8 miles, over about 7-8 miles, down about 7-8 miles, just going around that ridge. Where they want to go is the hardware store, which is just 15 miles that way. Which would be, I mean, you go 7 miles past it, but if everybody needs stuff, and they can get what they need to do, because it says they're a sporting goods store too. And then it's 30 minutes to camp from there.
Okay.
And then once we get to camp, we found a bunch of trails
that we can run.
There's actually trails all between here and Tropic Reservoir.
Gotcha.
Through, he said that place is called some canyon, Proctor Canyon.
What is it?
Proctor Canyon. Over that, down it. We don't know how serious it is. That's what we were going to check out at lunch. But
Yeah, so since the place we were hoping to eat lunch was closed and not a lunch place and not a place we were going to be able to hang out, and we decided to reconvene at the hardware store.
oh, the man's got a park.
We don't have that much time, Darb.
Yeah, we do.
Huh?
Yeah, we do.
We got all week.
What you putting in there?
Luggable loot. Yeah, so we had a really nice electric toilet that was going to be very useful for us to all have a place to deal with our potty situation. And for whatever reason in all the packing, the power block is nowhere to be found. So when we got to the hardware store, the first thing I saw was a luggable loo, and it was the first thing that went in the cart.
Wait, I think you're on the wrong aisle. Yeah, you're definitely on the wrong aisle.
You're on the wrong aisle.
I'm definitely on the right aisle. Everything but the wire?
I got zip ties for days. Let's just run one of his power cords.
It's totally fine. It's completely fine.
Yeah, we probably should have bought an extension cord. Like, we just should have bought an extension cord.
Yeah, that was some awesome foreshadowing right there. It really is.
So leading up to preps for the event, I made sure, or thought I made sure, that my truck was fully equipped with everything we needed. One of the things that I added was a power source for us to run the Snowmaster fridge in the back of the truck. And the gauge wire wasn't thick enough, so we weren't getting enough power to the fridge to take care of it. We chose one of the larger Snowmasters so that we could have enough room for everyone for the week, and it just did not like it. So that's what led us to having to find a place for the fridge, and then now we're here trying to figure out if we can find the right gauge wire, how much we need, where we're going to run it from, and still probably should have gotten an extension cord.
Drew, do you have any strippers? With us?
I just want to know if he said yes.
He said no. Yeah, and we were, discussing all of our options, trying to figure out wire, connectors, all the tools we need, because we weren't prepared to do any wiring.
I know this is an uncomfortable situation for all of us, but it's working.
Josh is fine with what he's doing now.
Right.
All I'm worried about is when it comes to the end of getting food home.
Amen.
If it comes to, again, we're below the budget on that food. If it comes to donating it or hashing it out or whatever we got to do, fine.
Right.
So why don't you just not get this, go up there, see if they got it for the quick fix, because we can run it with Josh's all the way to Moab, and then if you got to fix it in Moab, fix it in Moab.
Right.
We know we can fix it in Moab.
Right. finally it was like, you know what, we're losing time here. We're doing nothing but talking about it. So it was time to just set everything back down and take our luggable loo out the door.
Hey-o. Shoot it. The campground is up this way. If we continue up here, there's plenty of places to go. If we go back down this way, there's a road that takes us up on that hill, all right? And he said there's plenty of spots up there with views of the lake. Down here is a no-no.
As long as we don't go to King's. King's charges us. I don't.
Right.
So we just got to go back out to the north end, and there's a road that takes us up on that hill.
We're the Blakeleys out of Houston, driving a 2020 4Runner TRD Pro, slightly modified. We really like it. Had a Jeep, really liked it, but it was just getting too small. So we needed something a little bit bigger for him and his little brother and mommy and me.
Have you gotten time to run around and play in the trees? And
Yeah.
what's your favorite part so far?
It's the view.
But we're gonna get a lot more view today, all right?
Good deal.
What is that big pipe coming out of your driver window going up?
Oh, that was for us to try to stay, just prep up the tent and warm it up. So, because we thought we were gonna have a really cold night.
Right.
So we just turned on the car, isolated all the other vents, and snaked the vent up to the tent.
From the heater.
Warm it up.
Yeah. Did it work?
Oh, it did.
Yeah?
It did, yeah. Sure did.
But
I would reposition it a little lower because heat stays on the top, so it would stay on the top. So
yeah,
definitely did it.
So yeah, we're gonna pass Otter Creek, we're gonna pass Fish Lake, and then we'll make our way up and over, and then the Goblin entrance doesn't show on the map all the time. I can't get it off the road
and stuff.
It's there 1 minute and it's not. So if you zoom out a little, you lose it. You zoom out a lot, you get it. Whatever, but we'll have to pay attention. Obviously there'll be signs to turn into it.
So yeah, I was right, 148, depending on the route you're taking, which it looks like I've got the same route you've got because it goes through 2 of your points you gave me, is 148.
An hour and 48 minutes?
No, 148 miles.
148 miles.
148 miles.
How'd everybody sleep?
Great.
Better?
Yeah.
Yeah? Believe it or not, we were a little bit higher in elevation today, or last night. But I think the temp was a little bit better. So, a little windy, but it was a good night for everybody, I think, for sure. So, today we are going to be doing our longest, one of our longest days, if not the longest. We've got a lot of mileage, but we're gonna have a little bit of fun today as well. We're gonna try to get more dirt, rocky roads, nothing crazy, again, this is a overlanding event, not a rock crawling event. So, you know, we're going to be doing that kind of thing. The only thing we're going to be switching up a little bit today is I want to mix up the convoy, okay? For multiple reasons, but I want to mix it up. So if you were in the front yesterday, go somewhere towards the back. If you were in the middle, come on towards the front or towards the back, whatever, I don't care. Just fall in. If you want to be behind somebody specific or whatever, that's fine. Just mix it up, all right? That's the only thing I'm asking there. If you want to air down a little bit, that's fine. Again, we're going to be trying to stay on more of these roads and what, you know, to camp than we were. Long day, but we're going to try to have some fun too, all right? So other than that, I think we're pretty good. And please don't forget, we really do, and we encourage it. We want the feedback, all right? This is a huge part of the growth and how we set it up for next year and continue to make this better.
You're going to see a lot of changes. This is the day where you're going to see every couple of miles there's going to be a difference in your view. So take your pictures, do whatever you want to do. We will have a stop opportunity to kind of refuel if you want to, and you know, get some things again, a little station stop. So we need anything major, just let us know. If we need to go a little bit further out of the way. Yesterday we had to go out of the way to try to get some stuff to do our wiring to get this fridge back in the truck. But didn't end the way we wanted it to, so we're kind of keeping an eye out everywhere we go for what we need to make that happen. Right. But we are trying to solve that problem and not have it to be getting in and out of Josh's Jeep the rest of the time. So right. As soon as we can figure that out, we will.
You know, we never anticipate everything, and Josh Ellis, one of our participants, just totally went above and beyond, putting not only himself but his dogs as well, 3 of them, out a little bit, putting a fridge in the back of his Jeep, taking up valuable space. And you know, that's something that our participants, we get surprised with every year, is just how they're willing to step up and help out, figure solutions, and do things in the way that they need to keep the event rolling and good for everybody. All right, so again, part of the appeal to this event was that we had worked it out with the state of Utah and our guide, who could not make it, but he had pre-ran this route for certain forest roads that are not open to the general public. Nobody, no matter how much you pay, can use these things, but he can through his connections or whatever. Anyway, point is, we are now to a gate that was supposed to be open and is not. So we have to figure out a new route, and we are doing that with 2 different GPS systems and some paper systems. So we're just taking the few minutes to make sure that this goes, gets everybody where they need to go.
The next right is camp 3619.
But so where we're at now, that was camp. We just came. That's where the gate was, right? So we just came up this way. I know we're facing back that way, but
no, we're coming down.
No, we're going up.
Nope, we're coming down.
We're heading north. Watched us the whole time.
We're going down.
We're not going down. We just came back from there. We just came from right here.
How confident are you in this?
Well, this is open.
Here's the problem.
This is open and it's showing public routing. Like there's no private land in that.
So the problem we're having is we've lost time already.
Yes.
Now we lost time again at the gate. Now you have Glenn and Radflow that wants to turn and burn the way we got here and get back up the hatch.
So check this.
And then come over.
I just zoomed out. We're looking at the same route, man. They join up right here.
Yeah.
The 2 routes we were just talking about, they join up.
Okay.
That's only, it's 2 miles. 2 miles that they're split, and they join right back up right
We
there.
really can't afford, so what we've got with kind of the scenario we're dealing with is now we've got 2 sides of the coin, and one side's upset at the other side of the coin. So if we keep messing up either one, we're gonna.
Well, all of this that's routed in blue,
Yeah.
I didn't make that. Gaia made it. That's all open source public land.
Okay.
That is legit. Just, hey, Gaia, route me to X GPS point.
Right.
And I can pick a way to go. And that was the shortest distance.
So and then when we get up there, we can continue this. Because that goes up to 62.
So your Forest Service road, you were going to go right here.
Yeah.
And you were going to just go to pavement.
Right, 62 up into Brite.
Yeah, and you were, so really what we're really doing is
bypassing a lot of pavement.
We're bypassing a lot of pavement. And we're going to join back to your route right here south of Bryce Canyon City.
Right.
So actually, mileage-wise, it's shorter.
Right.
And if we do a little bit of speed with an eye to not being stupid, we'll actually be okay. So you can take that right if you want.
The positive is,
and it joins
if
back
anything happens there, we know we got to turn and burn and go back up the route we got here.
Anything happens anywhere, we can, this will tell us where we need to go. But this is all public land routing.
Right. It looks like just because of that gate being closed, we're going to have to just pick another route. The positive is Doug with Outlaw uses a different app called Gaia that shows some routes that aren't available to us through Google Mapping or navigation. So if we take that route, we kind of do two things. We bypass some pavement, but also get to where we're going. So we're trying to get over to Bryce Canyon. So go down here, go over with Drew what we just talked to Doug about, and make sure he's good, and we kick it.
Oh my God. Just gonna run and dive off if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to do that, Glenn. Wow. We just happened upon this overlook. There's probably a 2,000 foot elevation change, maybe 1,500, with all these little spires right here.
Wow.
And then amazing views back there. Very, very cool. You know, it's moments like this here where, you know, we're just driving down a dirt road and we see this opportunity and we get the chance to see an overlook out into this amazing view and this amazing part of Utah, where it really helps to put into perspective how small we really are in this world. And it really helps to kind of put again into perspective how small some of the issues we really were experiencing, not only in this trip but in life period, how small they really are, even though at the time they might feel gigantic. All right, we're here at the Otter Creek General Store and Cafe in the absolute middle of nowhere, next to the Otter Creek RV Park and National Park, or actually I think it's a state park. Anyway, we driving down a road, very long road, on our way to the next park here, and had some bathroom issues we needed to resolve. So we pulled in here to use the bathroom, and upon pulling in, there was a small gentleman, little kid, about 10 years old, who was driving around in a side-by-side, and he comes up to us and goes, "If you need us to open, we will open back up for y'all." So thought that was pretty cool. Seriously, 10-year-old, him and his little sister were like, "Let me go get my mom and we'll open the store back up for you." So, and they did that, and it's pretty neat. It really is. So we're pretty happy about that. And everybody got to use the bathroom and do what they needed to do. Got a little bit of gas on some that were not bad on fuel, but worried about it. And so we fueled up and we're getting ready to head back out and get to our next awesome campsite tonight. Let's go.
So I own a tree service, Love's Tree Service, and this is what I've been doing for a living for the last 20 years. And when my guys see this video of me using this electric chainsaw, they are going to give me a new one, so to speak, ream me a new one, so to speak.
Per my profession, it's still an electric chainsaw, but I'm impressed. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely stronger, and that's exactly what he was talking about, was the torque is there. So yeah, I dig it.
Coffee and rusks.
Coffee what?
And a rusk. We call them rusks. It's like a hard biscuit.
Okay. What's it made out of?
Oh, flour. It's got raisins, sunflower seeds. Fantastic.
Cool. All right, so morning of day 3. Right? It's day 3. Losing count. Had a good time last night around the campfire. Everybody enjoying some stories and some laughs, and so a little bit warmer temperatures, maybe about 3 or 4 degrees. That helped with sleep, and so everybody's kind of sleeping a little better every night. No winds like last night, and so we get ready now. We'll leave camp by 9, and we're gonna go out and hit Capitol Reef and make our way on up toward the Moab area, so we can do arches and Canyonlands, and we'll do a lot more exploratory there. I think we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna find a camp and stay there for a couple of nights, and just take the group out and just have some fun. So looking forward to it, and good weather so far. You know, we've had a little bit of rain come through, a little bit of cold, a lot of wind yesterday, but can't really complain, and I think everybody's ready to keep rolling. So here we go.
So most of that morning was filled with driving, in fact, pretty much all of it. So we decided that it would be good for the entire group to get out of the vehicles a little bit, walk around, really stretch our legs. You know, hey, you got to play the tourist game sometimes.
After another long run of highway miles, we were all ready to kind of check out camp, but we looked ahead on the map and saw a pretty awesome landmark and decided to have a little fun at Swing Arm City.
be done, but I was born to run.
So with all the fun that we had at the dunes, and we probably stayed a little bit longer than we should have, but we kind of had to hightail it to camp before sundown. Here we are, still dealing with the refrigerator issue on our 2018 Dodge Ram 2500. So the cord that was ran to the back of the cab is not big enough in gauge, basically, to withstand the amp draw and the voltage and all that. So last few days we've been racking our brains, stopping everywhere we can, but being as it's an overland event, we're not in a lot of big cities or areas that have a whole lot of supplies. So we sacrificed an extension cord, and we are going to direct wire this to the battery of the truck so that during the day, the refrigerator can be in the cab of the truck and be plugged in like it would be into a normal house. This is, I believe this is 14 gauge. I'm not 100%, but I believe this is enough. So I think we're gonna be okay. We're gonna find out pretty quick. So follow me over here and we'll show you what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna do it yet, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna strip these wires out of here. We're gonna connect one to the positive, one to the negative, and then we're gonna ground the ground. Then we're gonna feed, well, first, sorry, we're gonna feed this end through the dash, or yeah, through the firewall to do that. Then the rest of this will just get run straight back into the cab of the truck, into the back seat area, where we can then plug and unplug the fridge as needed. At night, it'll run off of our generator, but for the time being, this will work. And hopefully this will get us back home with the food if we have any left over. Now, a bunch of people were racking their brains on how we were gonna do this, but it was Doug Langford with Outlaw Off-Road in Greensboro that came up with the final solution. Well, me and him both. We kind of did it together, but it was more Doug. So, you know, kudos to Doug and Outlaw Off-Road of Greensboro. We're so glad he's here and that he was able to help us come up with a solution.
Who'd you say it was again?
Doug Langford.
Doug Langford.
With Outlaw Off-Road in Greensboro, North Carolina.
This guy right over there, right?
Right over there.
Notice how far I'm standing away from this.
It's a beautiful Toyota, though. Yeah, nice. Oh, look, his logo's right there on the side, so you can make sure you spell it correctly.
TREKWERX.
Yeah, his fridge works.
Has the phone number and website on it.
So we're gonna get this going before the sun goes down, so that all we got to do in the morning is get the actual wire connectors to bolt it onto these two plugs, or bolt it onto these two bolts. And we should be good to go.
The wiring harness for basically all the interior stuff, anything goes to the fuse box inside, goes through the firewall right here, but it's sealed. So there's a rubber boot around there. So what I'm doing is I took a knife away from the harness, and no worries about cutting it, and just made an X. So that if you look at it right now, it's completely closed up. You can see the X from where I hit the knife, but then when the wire goes through, it'll mostly seal around that. So we don't have to worry about any wire, water getting in there, dust or dirt or debris.
Gotcha.
All right, Drew. Down a little bit. Right there, you got it.
All right, coming through.
Yep. All right, I'm coming through with it. I'm gonna try and guide it.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what, let's do? Let me put through like a screwdriver and just put a little electrical tape around it, and let me pull it through. Yahtzee.
And look, the guy that came up with the idea is getting all the screen time for it.
I don't even know what. I don't know.
We got enough cord. I want to make sure we have enough to get to a ground. You know what I mean? Since we're rigging it. rig it as best we can.
There's your another ground right here.
Is it?
Yep.
Nice.
That'll work.
Or really any of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's a nice good one. It's
That one's sitting there already, yeah. It'll work.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
Bada bang. We got our cord. Now all we gotta do is get it hooked up tomorrow in the next town, and we can plug in.
So with the fridge freezer situation pretty much almost completely solved, we decided to kind of just take it easy that night and really just sit around the campfire, hang out, have good times, and this was hands down one of my favorite campsites of the 5 or 6 that we stayed at. There's something soothing to the soul about hanging out around the fire with good people, whether you know them for a long time or not.
Sharing stories about, you know, your lives, you know, opening up about the struggles that we had through the week, talking to each other about, you know, just about everything. I mean, it's just something, it does something. You know, being able to just sit there and open up, it just causes you to just share.
How'd everybody sleep? Good? Lot better temperature-wise, that's for sure. So, all right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna be Ram, the JL, and the JK are gonna go straight into, it's Green River, right?
Right.
Yes, okay, so we're gonna be shooting straight into Green River so that we can do the repair on the Dodge for the fridge and the power cord and all that. So we're gonna get that done. Doug is going to take Radflow and Matt and do a little desert off pre-running, whatever, which he loves. And that buys us some time so we're not all sitting around, you know, going, hey, hurry up and fix that. So it shouldn't take long. We should be done by the time you get there, but just want to make sure and allow you guys to have a little bit of fun while we're doing that. So that's what's going to happen. As far as that's concerned, did everybody get radios back that needed charged?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. We will be passing the Colorado River today, or crossing, I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, right? Yeah. That's after we meet up. Yeah. So again, any other questions, concerns?
No.
Cool. Everybody good?
Yep.
All right. Cool. Let's do it. Wire connect, there we go. This is what we're looking for.
Now, are you trained to use that knife?
Judging by how close as I am to my face with it right now, probably not trained. I don't think that's the right word. Okay. Probably is not the safest thing in the world. And I do this kind of dumb stuff all the time, so. I don't know which one of these goes to which on that end. Wind is not helping.
No, it's gonna jack the audio up,
So at this moment, we're trying to figure out exactly which wire of the fridge wiring is, or which plug of the fridge wiring is what, so that when we hook it to the battery, negative, positive, and ground, that it's not cross-wired or anything like that. You know, so we didn't want to blow up the fridge. So the film crew stepped up and sacrificed, where it could have been a sacrifice, one of their GoPro battery chargers to make sure that we had it proper, and that when we plugged in the fridge, it was not going to explode and possibly not have any food for the last 3 to 4 days of the trip.
Wait, you got them backwards. You got them backwards. All right.
Sure.
Wait, maybe it was the other way. There's no
ground on this.
Nothing. Make sure that's in. All right, go. Nothing.
Let's try something different.
Try something
Switch the
different.
black line. That's not getting power. I don't know. Oh, that's off of something that's fused. That's why. Duh.
The first attempt with the GoPro battery charger was a fail. And come to find out, we had wired the one of the ends of the wire to something that was on the ignition. So the ignition of the truck had to be on. It wasn't actually hardwired, and we had forgot that we had done that. So turned the key on to try it again.
So I think the fridge recognizes that we're not plugging in AC current into it. This plugs in the DC current. So if we take this, cut it, right, and
So
we
the cigarette lighter adapter part
goes
of it
away.
Bye bye. We could probably just unscrew it.
Sure, but again, this doesn't matter. This is all replaceable. And we hot.
So we bypass the
And why?
plug on the fridge.
No, this
Use
this,
this one instead of
well,
that
this
one.
is the plug for the fridge, just for this.
But
Yeah.
the one we're trying to
Right,
use.
right.
Okay.
So then it knows it's getting DC current.
So we just need to put
Hot, black and white to that.
You're gonna splice the
From the cord we're
power
using.
strip. So we're gonna
Now
cut
we're
that
just
into
using the
power.
line.
So we got to cut that end off too.
Yes, to do this. Unless you want to test it, we got to pull the fridge out to test it.
Exactly.
So, yes. That's my line. You can't do that.
All right, we're good.
Ready?
Sure.
Come on.
You can't say ready and then say hold on. Okay, it's on. It's on.
We got power. We're good.
You're so smart, Darb.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
High five.
I do know some stuff. Man, and now the fridge works, right? Like the way it's supposed to, the way Todd at Snowmaster intended it to work, and the way we had planned for it to work. So to go from being unprepared and thought we had it to not, can't imagine how excited I was to know that our food wasn't going to go bad and that we were going to be able to finish this with another breakfast burrito in the morning. The Snowmaster fridge, absolutely awesome product. Todd has been awesome to us with this fridge for us to keep all the food nice and cold. So to be able to fix the problem with the RAM, we found out that the fridge protects itself. It's a great product and knows that if we try to put DC current into AC, it says no. So we then knew that we had to run DC to it through the actual DC plug, so that's what we did.
What do we set the Celsius to?
-2.
Both of them?
Yep. Do -3. So now that we've got it ran that way, she's powered up, ready to go, and we'll keep everything cold, and we'll have steaks the next night or two.
Into Canyonlands National Park, and it's a little windy, but we ended up coming down, I think it's Slate something or another. It's a trail here in the park, and it's switchbacks, really steep, really altitude drop, really high altitude drop, and we ended up actually right next to the Colorado River. And if you just pan this way just a little bit, you
back here, the Colorado River that comes down and around, that clearly carved all of this that we're looking at now. This is easily 1,500 feet, 1,000 minimum drop right here. But anyway, so yeah, we're actually out of the forest right now, the national park. So we're looking for a place to camp in all of this, hopefully for the night. So yeah.
There you go. Straight out.
Nice and easy. Yep. Yep. Beautiful. Perfect. There goes the trailer up here. Trailer's gonna start coming down. Trailer coming down. Beautiful. Good job.
In a Tacoma, sure. But in your Dodge, I don't know. Even just this little section is going to be tricky.
Up here and check it out, you can. The dip's not a bad thing. I'm not worried about this dip that Caleb's about to hit, but it gets pretty tight up in here.
Well, it's just a matter of safety and time.
I mean, he's like, not unsafe. He's still crawling. I can see him. He's like still crawling over everything.
Yeah.
Can you guys throw up a drone and give us a look at this? Great job, Josh.
Thank you. Thank you. It's fun too.
But first off, Drew and I want to just thank you guys for sticking it out, being great sports. We had good weather, we had a lot of wind. Wind is not fun, especially when it's blowing sand in your eyes. But I think it went pretty well for a smaller first year for us to kind of see how it's going to go and how it's going to work. And we got a lot of decisions ahead of us on how to continue and if we're going to continue and what to do with Trail America. So I think we've scouted a good bit, a lot of help from Doug, making sure we can kind of get through where we're going. And once he realized that there was some frustration with how much pavement we were on, he went right to work, didn't hesitate, and found us some fun places to go and kept us off pavement, so that was fun. The show, as you guys may or may not know, is called KRAWLSTARS. So, and it was basically put together that way for Crawl America. We never intended for Trail America to technically be officially KRAWLSTARS, but yesterday we found a trail that kind of made sense now, so it fits right in with the episodes. So that's going to be a fun little transfer from this event on into Crawl America, so that should make for some good watching. We got a lot of stuff going, we got a lot of stuff playing, and we're going to keep in touch with everybody. We want honest feedback. Some of you have already given it to us, and we appreciate it. We appreciate that. We're going to cut this kind of a day short. Everyone knows that our events usually end on Friday, so when everybody's done, we say our goodbyes and everybody checks out of the hotels or whatever we're doing that Saturday morning. But with the weather today, we're going to come in the backside of Arches. We're going to go through. I don't think anybody wants to hike up to anything and risk getting poured down on. So we're gonna just go through, drive through, make sure that we see that scenery, and officially complete the Mighty Five. We will come out basically in Moab at the entrance of Arches. We'd like to, unless some of us have to roll out a little bit sooner, maybe all get lunch together, kind of a last hurrah before we get on the road. We did it. We made it through. I don't think anybody's too bad, except for we did lose a fender, which if you've watched any of our stuff, someone loses a fender every time we go out. So
single time.
You know, it would just so happen to be Josh this time. So
and it's always the back passenger.
Exactly.
I'm serious. It's always the back passenger every year.
So we might make a montage of all the fenders that have come off.
Yeah, if you get rid of that, we want it.
All right. So you know, and then he's pulling that trailer around, man. Watching him, Josh had never done what we did yesterday, so. Great listener, listened to what Drew was telling him, spotting him down, and did a great job with that. Again, Doug with the guiding, Glenn with the laughs and the fun. We had a great time around the campfire a couple of nights, and I think we're all ready. We're satisfied. I think we're to the point where we could all cut it and get back to whatever. I know I miss my wife and baby. I know Drew misses the 1,100 people that he's got to go back to. So, and I'm sure you all, Matt had the privilege and joy of having his family with him the whole time. We enjoyed those kiddos. So yeah, I want to, you know, from the bottom of my heart, from both Drew and I, thank you so much for being a part of it. Again, we've got to look at it, you know, from a bunch of different angles and make sure how we want to continue moving forward. We made a big step to do this, and we want to continue it. We just got to figure out how.
Coming into this event, usually when I go on anything like this, especially a first time, and you completely explained it that first day when we were in the hotel, I had zero expectations. So it could only get better.
Yeah. Cool.
And standing here today with all this fantastic group of people, my expectations were completely blown away. From zero to look where we are. And the stuff that we've seen, the stuff that we've done.
Peaking.
Trying to herd cats like it is with different personalities and different people. I think it all came together perfectly right now. So when we leave, I think we're all friends. We've met some great people and we'll all keep in contact forever. But I just want to thank you guys for putting this thing together, knowing that it could end up being completely disastrous. And it's been fantastic. I've seen stuff I've never seen ever. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm super proud of every single one of you for what you did, putting your feelings aside at times, and pushing. Everybody dug.
Everybody dug. No!
Please don't everybody dug. The world only needs one. No, seriously. You touched a string just now, and I'm super proud. Super proud. This blew my expectations. It really did. So thank you, all of you.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
I'd say if we're going to go into Moab, you know, maybe go to Zach's or something. If you can make a reservation for people who are going to do that, I would suggest you do that.
I hear you. Well, cool.
Alrighty.
I think we're all ready. Everybody's good.
And we'll just go, let's giddy up.
Giddy up.
You know it.
I don't know that there's too much left to say after an absolutely amazing week. You know, we haven't been able to mention a few people. Jeremy, who allowed us to rent the Jeep for the film crew, Outlaw Adventure Tours and Rentals. You know, we needed something for them to carry all the gear in, so we wouldn't have been able to do it without him.
Everybody came together that week, and regardless of the situation, dug down deep and did what needed to be done, and it turned out to be something I know I will never forget that week. Just like a good experience can build a relationship, so can a bad one. It can really help you build in a direction, even if that's the case or whatever. But that trip meant a lot to me in a lot of ways, and I hope it meant that much, or at least somewhat as much, to all the participants and sponsors that were there. We thank you. It was an amazing time.
Definitely something we're excited to plan for next year. So you'll be seeing Trail America again.